Thing's amazingly quiet. Like, you just hear chain noise. There's not even like an electric motor noise, huh? A little bit of chassis noise, but there's not even like a motor noise. All right, guys, super lucky. The track just dried out. It rained really hard yesterday. I was nervous we weren't going to be able to have a good day today, but track is perfect. I just e-biked it. Really no mud out there. So today we're really excited. We picked up Caden a new Honda E2. This is the new CRF-E2 made by Greenger. I don't know how to say that. Greenger. This is by them. This is a bike that Caden rides a lot. This is his TTR110. It's a Yamaha. Super reliable. He's been riding this for most of the summer. He came off of a Suzuki DRZ50 to this. We've had that now. And then Caden also has 50cc for next race season. So this is a race bike, completely different class. But I thought I would show it because I thought the size comparison between these two was going to be a lot closer just by looking like online, looking at pictures. So I don't want you parents at home to make the same, not mistake, but assumption that this is going to be closer to this, because I think his 50 is closer to the 110 than this is size-wise. So seat height is considerably shorter than the 110, and then you can obviously see the wheel size is much different. So when he's riding through the woods on a 110, every tree route with a bigger wheel just gets easier to ride over, and a little more ground clearance on the 110. There's a lot of positives to the electric, and then there's also a lot of positives to the gas bikes. So we're gonna do some riding for you guys today. Real quick, top of my mind, what I think electric is good for. So we can ride it around neighborhoods that have houses. Luckily, we live out in the country. We don't have to worry about that. We can make as much noise as we want. So if you live somewhere where noise is an issue, e-bike is so cool. Another huge positive thing is maintenance. So other than adjusting your chain and keeping the bike clean, the e-bike is awesome. So over here, I have to continually think about oil changes and air filter, and those are two things that you're changing quite a bit. So air filters, especially on race bikes, we're doing every race, and gearbox oil every race on the race bike. So those little 50s are super high maintenance. If you're looking to get your kid into riding just to ride around the house or the lawn, do not buy a 50cc race bike. Don't go to a power sports store and let a salesman talk you into that. It's not the right bike. They're super fast, very finicky. Enough about that. We're not really doing that bike in this video, but that's just my warning. So the beautiful thing about this 110 is that it's electric start. It's got a backup Kickstarter, because we all know the little batteries on these fail within a summer. So the backup Kickstarter is really nice. It works very well. And this is a bike he can ride all day. So whenever he and his brothers and all of his friends, they get together, they can ride this bike. We can go to any motocross track we want, any ride park, and we can just keep putting gas in it. And that's a huge advantage to this bike. The reason why I bring that up is because Caden had a Husqvarna EE5, which is basically that little 50 in the electric version. I was very excited about it. It was like a $6,000 bike, so let's keep that in mind. So the bike he had previously was a ton of money. This bike you can pick up used. We bought this for about $2,100 bucks, and I bought that for $2,000 used. So we bought this bike used. They had 30 miles on it. We'll get to that in a second. But the point is you don't have to spend $6,000 on an e-bike for the kid just to ride around. We picked this up for around $2,000. The disadvantage is when you do go to that motocross track and you do want to ride, or a ride park, you get on his other bike, he got about an hour and that was it. So we were down in Florida at Tampa, maybe it was Dade City. The kids were all riding. His bike died in an hour, and he sat there for the rest of the night, and his brother on an 85cc two-stroke rode for another 3 hours. So it's kind of a bummer to have that e-bike and then only be able to use it for an hour, and the batteries weren't interchangeable. The battery is interchangeable on this bike. I have not looked into how much they are. They do come out super easy. So this bike might be a little easier to take somewhere to a ride park and change those batteries out, just because it's just under the seat, no tools needed, you pop the battery in and out. So last real big topic is like warm-up time. So the gas-powered, air-cooled engines, you really got to start it and let it warm up on choke for like 5-6 minutes before you can really let the kid ride it, because it'll just flame out, it'll stall. There is zero warm-up time with this. The kid can get dressed, you can turn the key on, and away he goes. So easy for parents on these e-bikes. I love him. He's grown up on Stasics, so fully into the e-bike thing. He loves them. He knows how to do the throttle. Where some kids have a hard time with e-bikes is they're so used to like an engine noise teaching them and telling them how fast they're going. So my generation, and maybe even Braxton, his brother, he's 12, he didn't grow up on e-bikes because he was just ahead of that curve. And the e-bike can kind of sometimes throw you for a loop because you're riding it, but there's no noise to give you that vibration or that feel, where Caden doesn't care, he's used to it. So really happy with this bike. We did have an issue. So as soon as we got this bike, the start button failed. Like, he couldn't even ride it the first time he got it. So with this little e-bike, come on in, Braxton, let's show you. We're gonna let Caden ride this one now. So if we show the controls, the first thing we do with these new Honda e-bikes is we turn the key on. It's gonna give us a dash here. And it's gonna have OP, 0 power. And now, to actually take and use this bike, he has to hit this, let me move this out of the way, buddy. He has to hit that yellow button, and that'll make the throttle active. So if we, I'm gonna take your mic off you, bud. So go ahead and hit your yellow button, and you're gonna hear a beep. When you hit it, good, hit it. So now you're live, so go ahead and go right away. So the e-bike is so quiet. The throttle is very controllable. And the beautiful thing about that is how well the throttle does work. So his little 50cc race bike, that bike has no throttle control. The power is either on or off with it. Where when he's riding this e-bike, very easy throttle control. So if your rider is new, he'll be able to rip around and easily control the throttle, because it's intimidating. You know, when a kid gets his first bike, he's more worried about keeping his feet up. So just do a really slow circle right here. So pretend you're a beginner rider and you're just learning how to ride this thing. So super easy for the parent to be able to talk to the child. Another big thing is the kid doesn't get burned on an e-bike, so I forgot about that. So Braxton, the one that's holding the camera, yeah, he's shaking his head. So I had gotten him a PW50. This was 7-8 years ago. He was riding around the lawn and he tipped it over, and I didn't have good motocross pants on him. My fault. I just had regular jeans on him, and when he tipped the bike over, the exhaust actually touched his leg, and like he was scarred for like half the summer. He didn't want to ride anymore. So that's the beautiful thing about the e-bike, is there's no heat anywhere on this. So even if your child tips it over, you as a parent are not worried about the kid getting burned. So that's a huge benefit. So let's do some riding, okay? Take off. Oh yeah, hit your button and then go, go, go. So how many miles does it say you have on it, bud?
Is that the... Hold on, is that the right mile thing?
Yeah.
43.9.
So 43.9, and we started with 40, so you put almost 4 miles on it. What does it have for battery still?
1 bar went down.
So you lost 1 bar in 4 miles, roughly. I'm not sure if the phone's going to pick it up or if it's going to make it all weird looking. So that's not bad. So you rode 4 miles, and so maybe either this video or the next video we'll do a long haul, right? Like, so I'll let you ride until it's completely dead, and we'll go from there. So why don't we switch bikes over here to the Yamaha now? All right, buddy, why don't you go ahead and start your Yamaha. So key is on, right? It might be in gear. Yep. And let's make sure your choke is on, because your choke has to be on for a minute, otherwise it'll die. So after your first half a lap, you can turn the choke off, okay? So go ahead and go, go, go. So that's another thing with the Yamaha, is it's a 3-speed semi-auto. So you can see he just clicked it up in a second before he took off. where this little Honda is fully automatic. So there's no gears to worry about. There's no shifter down here, and there's nothing up on the handlebar. That's just another brake. So it's, gosh, I think this is the front, and then this is the rear, the brakes on it. Where his bike only has one lever on the handlebar, the Honda, or the Yamaha that is. He's got the front brake only on the handlebar, nothing on the left-hand side. Because being a semi-auto, there's no clutch to pull on. It just, you can shift it whenever you want with your foot. So. What do you think, dude? You have a good time on that bike?
Yeah.
You look a little bit faster on it.
Yeah.
Do you feel faster on it?
Yeah.
I think the problem is the Honda kind of tops out at 20, huh?
Yeah.
As fast as it'll go. I think the bigger wheels help you up through the woods too. I don't think that the tread is any better. I think those are a pretty good tire on that. If you had to pick one bike to keep, what bike are you going to keep?
This bike.
This one?
Yeah.
I think so too. I think the Honda is really fun if you're living like in town and it's like your only option. But for 10 minutes of riding, we put 4 miles on it and it's down 1 bar. There's only 4 bars. So, you know, your brother and his buddies are all going to be riding all day on their 85s, where you'd be kind of waiting for me to charge that one again. So, hope you guys found it helpful. We were trying to do a comparison between the two bikes. I think this is the closest comparison for that Honda. Honda obviously makes 110s just like this. It's a CRF-110. So if you guys are looking to stay in the Honda brand, you can, but we just like the Yamahas. So thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the ride. Got some questions for you, mister.
Yeah, so I kind of did a wheelie and I kind of broke the back fender like 2 seconds later.
Buddy, I'd let you ride it for 3 seconds. I don't even think you, like, there's your burnout mark. And then the next thing I saw was the handlebars up, and you didn't crash it, but you did like a 12 o'clock wheelie, but you weren't on it. How do you feel about that, Caden?
Like, there you go.
Caden gets a new bike. I let Braxton ride it for 1 second. We have to buy a new fender for it, huh, buddy?
Or just do what they did before.
Yeah, I feel like probably tuck it back up in there for now. It'll be good.
Fix it in a second.
Get old duct tape.